explain it like this. People think that I will do everything. Everything that you're doing is on the external. A human being is made up of what? A mind and consciousness. The mind and the consciousness, the things that are inside there are a product of the person's personal experiences in life. Those things, they remain there. They have taken a stronghold. If I can think of another way to say it, they have taken a stronghold on that person's mind and their consciousness. You don't know. Sometimes you may be doing things that may actually trigger or influence that stronghold that is on there. Let me not use the word stronghold, because stronghold, I know in some balances they use it in a negative way. But let me say that person has a mind and consciousness, and the person did not go and buy it from a store. It is something that is inside them. But everything that you're doing guesswork. You're doing guesswork on the external. And it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something sticks. So all that you're doing is a lot of unnecessary hard work, which sometimes may work. And if it works for Mr. A will tell his friend Mr. B, this is what I did. I did it and it worked. But sorry, everybody, it cannot work for everybody, because maybe he was just lucky that the thing that that person's consciousness and mind needed was exactly what came. Instead of doing that, you should take the time to allow that person to just see what is obtainable with you. And do not be angry, because sometimes, as women, you tell a man, I don't want. And he gets angry. Like the recent case that we just, you cannot get angry because the woman does not decide, I'm going to just say, I don't want. It's not like that. It's not like that. Nobody sees something that they want and they say, I don't want. And you may be the thing is, you are looking at it as your person. You feel, so that is why sometimes beautiful women, very accomplished women, very accomplished men, that is why sometimes they are the ones who are really suffering in a relationship, because they cannot believe this person does not want all of these things that I'm bringing for them. They don't want it. It's not possible. And then they keep on trying because they believe I have what it takes. This person is going to allow me to be their special person because I've got everything that it takes. But that person, I mean,
it's both ways, right? Not just for the men, for the women as well. We have to understand that a relationship is a two-way street. Yes, what you feel.
The relationship is a consciousness thing. It's not a physical, external thing.
And I was going to say, allowing the other person. I've seen people, somebody says, I love you to a man or a woman, and the other person doesn't feel that same way at that time. And because the other person doesn't say it back to you, you start to feel angry and feel bad. I mean, it took you some time, and maybe certain boxes, maybe not, manual boxes, but mentally, emotionally, for you to reach the point where you could ascertain that you love the person. Why do you want the person to skip that process that you did and just respond? Because you have reached that level of certainty. You expect that that person must say at that time. If you're mature enough to be in a relationship and you understand that then you will understand that a relationship is a partnership. It's about two people. What you feel is important, but what the other person feels is equally important. What you feel is not more important than what the other person feels. So allow the person to get to the point of certainty using whatever metrics that they have set out for themselves. That might be different from yours. Your process might be different from their process. They may get there and eventually tell you, and they may never get there. You should be ready for both, right? If they get to the point where they feel certain enough that they love you as you say you love them, fine. If they don't ever get to that point, don't force it. Don't force it, because if you force it, you are setting yourself for failure. And if you think that what you feel is strong enough to carry a relationship, then number one, you don't understand what a relationship is. And
Hmm.
number two, you are setting yourself up for failure, setting the
Oh,
relationship up for failure.
thank you for saying that, because I have been making an announcement to all and sundry. I say there are no relationship problems. The problem is that you don't understand what your problem is. You misunderstand. That is the thing. And so you call it relationship problem. I know it is a relationship problem, but it is not relationship problem in the way that you're thinking. Because they think I just have a difficult person that I'm dealing with, but that is not it, right? Because the lady who will say, I do everything for this man, he doesn't work. I do everything. I take care of the house. I take care of the children. I even pay the bills. I do this. I have a difficult, he doesn't do this and do that for me. They are thinking they have a relationship problem. Yes, it is a relationship problem on the outside of it, but the thing is, there is what is going on there. It shouldn't even be a problem. You shouldn't even be having that problem in the first place if you knew what was going on really in that relationship, right? And so because of that, the problem with that is that now people have a mindset where they think relationships can be complicated. So when people are going in and they meet difficulties with their relationship, they feel it is normal. Everybody says it is normal. Relationships are, I am not saying that you will never have misunderstanding, right? Because we're different human beings. But the way
Right.
that people have made a categorical statement, it is normal because human beings are complex. That is a big lie. It is a lie. And because of that, that is why you will see a man who is interested in that girl, and she says over and over and over, I don't want. But the bunch of men folk will say that is the way ladies behave, right? Because I'm saying this because of the guy who was telling me about a girl that he wanted to marry, and over, she kept tossing him off, tossing him off, tossing him off. And he said, well, if she didn't want, why did she eventually agree? I have to, because they say just keep on, just keep on, just keep on. And he got into it, and all hell broke loose. And I said, but they lied to you. All those statements, that's why we have these conversations. All those statements, they are just statements. You have to think about it. Don't just grab the statement because it makes you happy so that you can go ahead to do what you want. A person who wants to marry you will not take the chance of you leaving her to go and marry somebody else. And he said, what if it's because she's shy and she learned that you should say no to a guy because you want to show him, you want to see how serious he is? And I said, that means she's not ready. You don't want
Yeah,
to
no,
be have
you're playing games. You're not mature enough to
exactly.
be in a
That means
relationship.
she's a child. She doesn't have her own mind. She learned, oh, we have to play games. We have to play hard to get. You don't want that girl who is playing games. You don't want her. She may be a good person, but that means you are going to be every day. She will give you hills to climb in
She's
your
not
relationship.
ready. Anyone who thinks that being in a relationship is playing games, they are not ready.
She's still
Again, I said
immature.
relationship is for adults, mature people, self-aware people. Anybody playing games is still a child. It's children who play games, right? So anybody playing games, they're not mature enough to be in a relationship. They're children. They have no business being in relationships.
Full stop. So again, let us take it back to. I will round up with this. When I was saying the relationship is consciousness, and I said all those other things, physical is not. I don't mean that physical is not important. What I mean is the physical part, the emotional part, the intellectual part, all those things. Where do they end up? They end up in the consciousness, because it is your physique that I'm attracted to that is going to be sitting in my consciousness. It is the way that we connect that will be sitting. All those things, they end up in the consciousness. Your only duty is to showcase yourself as a product, but do not make yourself the all in all and decide you are not God. If you really want to have this type of relationship, you have to go and create a human being by yourself. Create that human being by yourself so that you can know that you, yeah.
Also, let me just say something that in preparing for this conversation, I noted down. Um, and it's linked to the last things that you said about relationship being complicated. A lot of people have that mindset. If you open social media today and you look at any relationship linked post and you go to the comments. Today I read one. Anyways, the comments where people go to is, oh, relationships are, marriage is this. Most of the comments were negative with regards to the issue of marriage. This is why we never get married. Men are always this. I'm not saying there are no bad men. I'm not saying there are no bad women. But I'm saying if all we feed our minds is that relationships are complicated, then somehow we are unconsciously making that our own reality.
You're perpetuating it.
Unconsciously, yes, making that our own reality, because unconsciously we start to look for those things that will make it complicated. In fact, we even attract the complicated, in quotes, people if both parties understand truly what a relationship should be, and they invest in doing personal work before engaging in this. See, a marriage is not a battlefield, should not be a battlefield, right? Marriage should be a place of rest, not a place of chaos. There's already so much we are struggling with as humans, right? As adults, there is work demand, work pressures. There are, even the family responsibilities, the money pressures, all of those things are there. There's already battles on other fronts. Your relationship should not be one of those. It should be that place of rest and refreshment and refueling, so that you can go on and face other aspects of your life. But if you think that a relationship is meant to be endured, I am sorry for you, because that will be such a miserable life to live. If you do the work right and you find your own person, you can truly, truly enjoy a beautiful relationship. I'm not saying you will not put in effort, but the effort will be something you do in love. It wouldn't be a chore. It wouldn't be burdensome. It's something you do because it makes the relationship better. It makes both of you better. It makes your life better. Both of you grow together and your lives are more fulfilling. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much. You just reminded me about something. I even saw a post yesterday and I shook my head. That one makes me want to cry, because there were thousands of people who were agreeing with it. And I am seeing some, well, you know already that there are a lot of people who are teaching people to perpetuate this idea that relationships are supposed to be naturally hard because human beings have trauma, we have this, we have that. So I want to use this opportunity to make this announcement. That is a lie. They say something like, even the right partner will cause you to be triggered in so many ways, because you need those triggers to show you so that you can grow. That is not the right partner. That is just
That's a toxic
it
environment.
is a lie. right? So it is not saying that the right partner will not trigger you. The right partner can trigger you, but it
You
is
can
not
have conflicts. Yes, humans will have conflicts,
exactly. So, but
but
you
you will
cannot say that
navigate them with love, with patience, with understanding, not ego. And you'll both be good if that's the right partner. It won't be
exactly,
something that triggers you in a
exactly,
way that is, painful. No, it will force you to grow as a couple, learning about each other, adapting, not losing yourself, not erasing yourself, not bending out of shape in order to fit in. No. If you're with the right partner, it
exactly.
will take effort, but
How is that
it
the
will be
right partner?
effort that fulfills, effort that that makes you really, really happy. You will not have any problem doing those
I
things.
didn't take a screenshot of that page. I wish I did so that I could go back to it because it made me very, very sad that this person is teaching this and I saw a lot of people agreeing with it because it didn't, like, I know even the right partner can trigger you to show you certain things. However, a part that is really, really missed is that the truth is that we were taught that in order to drive, you need a driver's license. In order to be a surgeon, you need to, go and learn surgery. But nobody thinks or has said that there is a basic qualification before you can be in a relationship. This is the truth, and therefore everybody gets in. Now it is 2026, and it is already believed worldwide that how dare you say that somebody is not qualified to be, how dare you, who do you think you are? Everybody has trauma, everybody has, right? But if we, you do you want to tell me that if we had been taught that this that and that must be in place before getting into a relationship, do you want to tell me that we will not be checking those qualifications first before we get into relation? Are you going to tell me that? Answer me, I'm asking seriously. You know that is what it is. That
I
is
mean, I
all that.
see the point that you're trying to make. The point is that a personal work on the part of both parties going into a relationship is very, very important. I am an advocate for that. I
I
do
really
not
think
I do not see a relationship as a natural next step after graduation. I see it as something that if you decide to go into, you do it intentionally. You do it when you're ready, not because it is the natural next step.
all, unless I don't understand what they mean by right partner. Because if it is a right partner, then what are you talking about? Triggering you from head to toe.
Right.
I mean, I
If
don't
it's the right
understand.
partner, it will be peaceful. It would not be chaotic. Not that you wouldn't have conflict. Again, you would have conflict. These are two different human beings with different personalities coming together. But you have
Because
alignment
what makes it
in
right
many
then?
areas, and
What
you
makes it
have love.
right?
And when you have love and you have a conflict and you let the love lead, you will navigate that conflict with patience, with understanding, not with ego. That's what will happen if you're with the right partner. If you have
Exactly.
to be otherwise, then you are not with the right partner.
Oh, you just said it. You nailed it. With the right partner, your ego takes a backseat.
Exactly.
Because the right partner, unless we're not talking about love, when we're talking about love, ego has no role in love. Ego has no role in a loving relationship. So if your ego is still performing inside that relationship, then you do not have, because love and ego, I think I'm going to Google it this evening, and this will be our assignment, everybody. Let us go and Google it. Love and ego. I cannot believe that love and ego can exist in a love. You cannot have love and ego.
It
It's
will
cold.
be hard. That
It's not
combination
possible. No,
would be
it's not
very, very
possible.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so the problem may be that what people are calling love could be lust, obsession, codependency, um, a lack of self-love,
Possession.
a possession. Possession is the word. Now, the idea of that's why that is actually, I think you finished it. Possession is what people refer to as love in many, because if it was not possession, nothing stops me from loving
Ego
you.
will not be there if
No,
it's
no, hold on. Actually, I will love you from today till thy kingdom come, right? And I don't need you to do things for me, in the sense that what I mean is, even if you say, Uzo, it's not you that I love, it is Gwendoline down the street that I love. How does that affect my love? If my love is snatched away because you tell me that you love Gwendoline instead, then what I have for you is not love. It is, I want to possess you, isn't it?
yes, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not to say that love doesn't require
Reciprocity. No.
reciprocity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why people will say love, when somebody cannot love you and not be jealous. But the type of jealousy is different. It is not that jealousy that, because they say she killed her husband because she loved him so much and she was jealous. She killed. I'm like, that is not love.
That is possession, obsession. That's it.
Okay. So I think and so the thing with the new generation that you talked about, are young people. The way that they can escape it is to actually understand what is the meaning of love. Because right now, when you say you hope that they do different, like you said, when I look online, I'm shaking my head. I'm like, what are all these people doing? They're coming here. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do. She doesn't. She demands. She demands. That can never work, because you are with somebody who does not want what you want. Therefore, and you are calling it love, and you're saying, but I love, then love them and let them do them. It's not never going to work. If you cannot eat your cake and then you still want to keep the whole cake.
Right.
Right. Okay. Thank you for the conversations. Thank you so
Same
much.
here, Uzo. Always a pleasure.